Round one of the 2023 Canadian Triple Crown Series MX Nationals will take us back to Edmonton, Alberta. RAD Torque Raceway. Mark Dion letting us know it's time to go racing. The return of two-time champ Kevin Benoit was all the talk of the 250 class, but trouble for number 8 Mitchell Harrison there as he couldn't get the bike running. As they had to wait, Daryl Murphy lets him know that he would have to push his bike across the line to get a DNF as opposed to a DNS, so he would be able to race the rest of the motos. Number 4, Jake Piccolo, out to a great jump, but he would go down in the first turn, injuring his left shoulder. Hole shot to number 43, Clayton Schmooky there, right ahead of Kevin Benoit and Dylan Rempel, number 44. But there was also some troubles in the first turn for some of our top contenders. There goes Tanner Ward, Tyler Yates. We got Jerry Mitchell qualified third out of the B group today too, so he was coming from the back of the pack. Trouble there, as you can see, Jake Piccolo and Mitchell Harrison pushing his bike off. But when they came around for the first lap, it was number 126, Kevin Benoit. Business as usual for him. Second place to Quinn Amiot. Yeah, but where was number 1, the defending champ, Ryder McNabb, coming off that broken leg in the off-season? Here he is now, off to a bad start, but he would have to work his way up, and you can see him and Jair Mitchell coming through the pack as Jake Piccolo heads back to the pits there to go get checked out from the doctor. It was a separated shoulder. Josiah Nansky, number 23, would start pressuring Quinn Amiot for that second place. Behind them, it was number 12, Sebastian Racine, who would end up in 5th place for the day. He had Ryder McNabb on him as Jair Mitchell starts moving up. And there is intermediate rider. That's Blake Davies, the youngster. He would have a great day going 9:14.12 for 12th overall. And now we had Hunter Schlosser up from Texas, the Supercross regular, making a move on the young Dylan Rempel there to move up position. But when the checkered flag waved in the first moto, it was Kevin Benoit securing the win in Moto 1 of 3 on the day. Working his way all the way up to second place was Ryder McNabb, so a great race from him. And number 14, rounding up the top 3, that was Quinn Amiot ahead of Josiah Natsky. 8 drop for the first 450 moto. Getting a great jump was new 450 rider number 20, Jeremy Mackay. So a great job by him grabbing the first pole shot of the day. But squeaking by him will be Jess Pettis and Tyler Medaglia, forcing him back to third. You can see Julian Bennick up there, the third rider now up in the 450 class as well. Good ride from him. As it came around the first lap, though, it was Jess Pettis out front. Where was defending champ and undefeated rider from last year, Dylan Wright. He was back in the pack, had to make a few passes. There's Tyler Gibbs. But when it came around to finish the first lap, it was number 15, Jess Pettis out front. Moving up, there is number 5, Tyler Medaglia. Up into third place now is Dylan Wright. With only 15 minutes to go, it was had to make a lot of passes quickly. Number 26, Julian Bennick there on the PRMX team, looking good on the 450. And as we expected, number 5, Tyler Medaglia and Sean Moffenbauer going at it for the third place here. And I think this is going to be how it's going to go all summer long. Moffenbauer makes the inside pass, makes that stick. He would take third in this moto. There is Jeremy Mackay. He would end up in 7th place in this one. Keelan Meston up. He would end up 5th on the day. And there's Andy Troutz out of Belgium there. He would have a top 10 finish on the day. Good to see him over here with the Man Luck Racing team. Jess Pettis out front in this one, 15 minutes. And this would actually put an end to the unbeaten moto streak by Dylan Wright. Dylan would make his way up to 2nd place in this one. Good for him to have to make a few passes on that one to get up into 2nd place. 3rd place we go to Sean Moffenbauer. For this second moto of the 250 class started, it was again trouble for Mitchell Harrison as they tried to get a second bike in there. They would get that bike to the line in time and have the gate drop. When it did drop, it was. Look, check it out, number 173. That's Hunter Schlosser out of Texas having a great jump there, but Kevin Benoit sneaks by on the inside. You can see a great start by Sebastian Racine. Not a good start. Trouble by, that was Dylan Rempel heading off to the outside there as he overlapped a wheel, but out front it was Kevin Benoit, followed by number 23, Josiah Natsky. Schlosser to 3rd. 4th was Jair Mitchell out of Bermuda. There's Racine and Mitchell Harrison. Number 28 there is Sam Gaynor. Welcome back to the race, Sam Gaynor, but trouble for number 1. Ryder McNabb was well back in the pack. He had to work his way up. He would eventually come through in 8th place, so bit of a tough one in the second moto for him. Jair Mitchell there, followed by Josiah Natsky, and there's Mitchell Harrison looking good now with the bike running, and Hunter Schlosser heading on that off-camera. They cut into the side of the grass. There's Ryder McNabb putting his head down and doing the best he could. But Kevin Benoit looking solid out front. He was set to ride the 2-stroke, ended up riding the 4-stroke here, so he was doing well, comfortable on that bike, takes the win in the second moto. 2nd place going to Mitchell Harrison after his troubles getting out there. He held it strong, looked good. The number 1 qualifier finishing 2nd. 3rd to Jair Mitchell. 4th to Josiah Natsky. And 5th to Sebastian Racine in that one. The riders head off in 450 Moto 2 into that sharp left-hander in the first corner. It was Jess Pettis getting a great jump out front, followed by Daniel Elmore, Dylan Wright, and check it out, number 51. That's Jesse Royan out of Saskatchewan with a great jump on this one. When they came around, Jess Pettis led the field, followed by Dylan Wright, much closer to him this time. 5, Tyler Medallia, 25, Daniel Elmore, and there is Royan, followed by Troots out of Belgium, Moffenbauer, Gibbs, heading up through there. There was a good battle between Bennick and Mackay. But when they came around, Dylan Wright had made the pass for the lead, followed by Jess Pettis. And then Tyler Medallia fighting for that third place. He and Sean Moffenbauer would go back and forth in the results on this day. There's Daniel Elmore coming through, the rider of Telpa, BC. Dylan Wright seat bouncing here into the infield Supercross style section, followed by Jess Pettis. Tyler Medallia as Sean Moffenbauer closed in as these two would battle for that third and fourth position. Daniel Elmore coming through. Daniel would end up 7th on the day. Jeremy Mackay looking good, moved up to the 450 class. And here's Keelan Meston looking good there. He's got fellow 6'2" plus rider. That's Troots out of Belgium there behind him. And then Troots had another 6'2" plus rider. That's Julian Bennick on his rear wheel. Those two would have a nice little battle as well. Dylan Wright, no troubles for him though. Back to his winning ways. Grabs first place in this one, just ahead of what should be a good battle for the summer as well. Jess Pettis in second place. Third, Moffenbauer would be chasing Medallia, but Medallia would hold on to that third spot. Moffenbauer fourth. Fifth place to Daniel Elmore. Not believe me, but at the start of 250 Moto 3, trouble again for Mitchell Harrison. Unfortunately, he would not be able to get in this one, taking a DNF. When the great drop for that final 15-minute 250 Moto, getting out front early this time, it was Ryder McNabb, followed by Hunter Schlosser. So Ryder McNabb getting where he needs to make up for that second Moto. There he is out front, followed by the number 173 of Schlosser, and there's Kevin Benoit next. Josiah Natsky, Quint Amiot behind him. There's our first look at Zach Eufemzef, and there goes Tanner Ward. Tanner Ward would actually end up back in 11th on this day after his 20th in the first moto, so not the greatest day for him. But out front, Ryder McNabb showing us that his leg is fine when he's out riding. I actually saw him running this earlier too in his boots, so looking good. Good to see him. Third, Natsky. Fourth, Schlosser now, and fifth to Quinn Amiot. Two KTM boys, 1 and 2 in this one. There's a nice battle between Natsky, Schlosser, and Quinn Amiot here, the number 14 rider. Back and forth, kind of giving you a real-time look at the leads there, the separation between the three, back and forth with the camera there. Third place, Natsky. Back and forth, Amiot, who did manage to get around Schlosser. And there, as did Sebastian Racine. And the flag waved in this one. Taking the win was Ryder McNabb. Happy to get out front there in that one. Trade some wins with his teammate Kevin Benoit, but Kevin Benoit would take the overall with his 1-1-2 scores. And a nice little battle here at the end. Quinn Amiot and Sebastian Racine. Sebastian gets caught up on that back wheel, giving that to Quinn Amiot. Sebastian would get up and not lose any more positions. Coming in next is Tanner Ward. We mentioned he would be 6th place there, so 12th for him. And 3rd overall on the day, Josiah Natsky. 2nd, Ryder McNabb. Taking the win. Welcome back, 2-time champ Kevin Benoit. And there they are. That's your podium. The final moto of the day was 450 Moto 3. Another 15-minute affair here when the gate dropped. Getting out front, power sliding through the front. That was number 22, Tyler Gibbs, grabbing the early hole shot, followed by Pettis. As the rest of the crowd follows through. Number 34, Ryan Derry, trouble for him. Pettis will be out front early, followed by Dylan Wright. And there is Gibbs dropping back to 3rd. 26, Bennick had Meston cutting on the inside of him. And then he had Moffenbauer do the same to him there as well, followed by Medallia. And there's number 41, Brendan McKee. Great ride from him, just missing that top 10 and 11th overall as they head back into the infield here in the Supercross section. Dylan Wright would start closing in on Jess Pettis. 3rd place would be Sean Moffenbauer. 4th, Gibbs had Meston on him and Medallia. There's Jeremy Mackay. 25, Daniel Elmore would end up 7th on the day. Slowly, Dylan Wright would close in on Jess Pettis. Pettis admitting that he thought he was a little closer than he was, let him through on the inside for the lead. There's Moffenbauer pretty safe in 3rd place. 4th, Medallia. 5th will be number 10, Keelan Meston out of Calgary. They had a good lead on the rest of the pack there, back to 6th. When it came around again, it was Dylan Wright out front, and this would give him the overall and hold his overall win streak intact, so he is still undefeated in overalls. Jess Pettis in 2nd. Here's a great battle between Brendan McKee and Troots out of Belgium. McKee afterwards told me he did make the pass but had troubles and let it by again, so just dropped out of that top 10 spot. Number 1, Dylan Wright took the overall and the win in this moto. Second to Jess Pettis, nice close. That's going to be a good battle throughout the summer. Third place goes to Sean Moffenbauer out of Saskatchewan. Holding on to fourth, you can see the real-time distance back to Tyler Medali, the number 5 rider out of Nova Scotia. And then came, rounding out the top 5 is Keelan Meston. Good to see him back. We'll have to find out how many more rounds he's going to do. Little post-race burnout for Dylan Wright for the crowd. And that was it from round 1. Sean Moffenbauer taking his 3rd place. Second to Jess Pettis. Welcome back, Jess Pettis. And the overall going to defending champ, Dylan Wright. We'll see everybody in Kamloops.